Hello, and welcome to the Gers TV. My name's Si Leslie.
My name's Gordon.
So guys, it's all happening tonight. People started texting me because we're 2 or 3 minutes late. As you know, Gordy, we've always got to be in time. We've got Ryan, he'll be on in a few seconds time. We're going to do a different format tonight. First of all, how's things, Gordy?
Absolutely fine. Yourself?
No bad, I'm just going to have a wee water because I've been running a bit mad all day.
Never had a dull moment.
Well,
the life of the Gers TV presenters.
The big thing for us is we all thought that the worst case scenario, how do we do a show if we get beat at the weekend? So that wasn't so bad.
If that had been a block up, we'd only done about 75% of the shows in the last 2 years that we're going to do.
So the good thing is there's a lot of things happening, a lot of subjects to talk about, and everything else. Before we start that, we've got a new feature we're going to do, our player ratings. I know you do this on Spotify. Do you want to get a quick plug, and then we'll send this out to Ryan to tell us all about it?
Yeah, so one of our new features is having a show on Spotify as well, a podcast on Spotify. So, they mispronounced that, big plug, I said it wrong, on Spotify. So it's free of charge on Spotify. All you need to do is literally type in the Gers TV. We've got some amazing historical episodes with our good friend David Herd. We talk about all the good times at Rangers and bad times as well, because we like to do that as well. And more recently, we've got a new feature for this new season where we're going to rate the players every game. In the season, we're going to give you the totals and tell you who the Gers TV Player of the Year was as well. So thanks very much to Ryan for joining us on Sunday. I'm sure every presenter of the Gers TV will have a shot doing it as well. But it was fantastic, and it's on Spotify. Just type in literally the Gers TV. Free. It's totally free.
So before we do that, guys, if anybody's watching, can you help us out by sharing and commenting on the channel? That gives us more people viewing.
Preferably nice comments and
listen, we don't mind the abuse. They don't mind the abuse either. So I'm going to send you to Ryan in a second. We're going to do the player ratings from the game at Tannadice at the weekend, where Rangers won 1-0 against Dundee United. Ryan, give us the player ratings.
How are we doing, guys? Well, obviously in the back of a win and a clean sheet, which is what else can we ask for? So I'm not going to go too much into why the ratings have been given. I'd ask the viewers to go in and actually have a wee listen to the Spotify. And you can hear the reasons why me and Gordy have came to these ratings, alright. So we gave Butland a 7, Tavernier got a 5, which is a bit controversial, so tune in and have a listen to find out our reasons why he only got a 5. Jeff Day and Suter both got a 7, Robin Proper a 6, Diamande got a 6, Connor Barron a 7, Oscar Cortez a 6, I think it was it a 6 or a 5? A 5, sorry. Kieran Dowell a 6, Tom Lawrence was our Gers TV man of the match with an 8. Desser's only a 5. Our subs, Raskin a 2, Sterling a 4, Bazrami a 5, and Igamane a 6. So that's where we are. And please comment and obviously give us your own points as well, your own player ratings. Tune in next week, hopefully we'll have some more ratings for you. Thank you.
So that's available on Spotify. It doesn't cost you any money, and it'll be basically after most games, or if every game, if they're sober enough, or the day after the game. Yep. And it'll be Ryan and Gordy basically giving you their ratings, but you don't need to agree with them, and you can disagree. My opinion on it was, I thought man of the match, because I did listen, it was a great show, guys, but I thought man of the match by a country mile was Jeff Day. I've not heard anybody else saying that, but I thought he did a really good game, solid, and I thought he was outstanding in the position to play.
Well, we don't want to give away the conversation too much on the Spotify, which is free of charge, and just type in Gers TV. We agreed with that for the first half, but we thought he faded a little bit in the second half, whereas Lawrence was still putting himself about the place and having good chances and creating some good play in the second half as well. And he stayed on the park for 90 minutes, I believe, as well. So
could have, should have had a hat trick as well.
So our kind of 3 best players for the weekend were Suter, Jeff Day, and Lawrence, as we say.
Yep, definitely.
So that was Ryan's ratings. That's what we could call it. Sound for yours going like that. Name.
Gordy definitely had his hand in it as well. There was a couple that I was a different year. I think we agreed on probably about 50% of the numbers.
But not a good conversation, good debate. And as I say, it's up there on Spotify, so help support the channel by going on Spotify and just type in the Gers TV. And if you disagree, if you want to get involved in it, and even potentially in the future, we can invite people on, we can invite fans on the show and give us their ratings as well.
100%, more than welcome.
And at the end of the season, we're hoping to do a kind of player of the year
Definitely. Well, the reason we're doing it over the course of a season is that quite often Player of the Year is usually voted in somebody's form and not asking a 2 or 3 months of a season.
Correct.
So it's to give it a bit of consistency right across the board, and obviously a bit more content and something else to talk about, just a new innovation that we've got.
I did actually check some of the newspapers' ratings, and we were actually a little bit harsher than some of the papers, which is unreal because sometimes we think the papers are a little bit against us, but we were a bit more harsh and critical. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. That was the player ratings for the Dundee United versus Rangers game. Let's go back to the main show.
Well, if you want to tell us your man of the match as well, you can listen to Spotify. But if you want to comment in the sections now, in the comment section just now, and tell us just who your man of the match was and why, that's fine as well.
So we're going to get Ryan back onto the main studio in a couple of minutes. He's going to give us the agenda as well for tonight, because he's the only guy who wrote it out for us. Loads and loads happening, guys.
God, did you get Ryan's ratings, Ryan's agenda? There's a corporate takeover.
So you could come in back here now. You don't need the mic.
No, it's not even happening.
So we've only rehearsed it 3 times in the last 20 minutes. I just leave it anywhere about. I don't put it near Lily's arse or she'll fart. That's a Doug, by the way, in case anybody thinks it's a female producer or anything.
This process will get smoother.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, so loads to talk about at the
Hi
weekend.
Ryan, didn't know you were in the studio. I thought you were in Ibrox. I thought you were in Ibrox tonight.
Bolted over here.
You've managed to
Absolutely knackered.
managed to get here pretty quick, Ryan. Well done, son.
Magic of television.
So we're just looking at different features with the channel, guys. We're going to have more people on, and at the weekend, if any Rangers supporters clubs are going to be in Glasgow and they want to come in and do a wee feature, promote themselves, talk about the famous Glasgow Rangers, and have a laugh and a joke before the Rangers versus Dundee game, then give us a wee PM and we'll get yous on. Right, what's been happening this week with the Rangers? Apart from the fact we've got a new chairman, but it's only temporary, we might have another chairman. Dave King wants another chairman again. We didn't think we were going to win on Sunday, but we did win. Controversial decisions at Parkhead, again, favouring Celtic. Apart from all that, it's been a quiet weekend.
Aye, so well, the agenda that you were asking for, so we're going to have a wee, obviously a recap over weekend's game. Have a wee chat about the good and the bad points about it. Obviously, mentioned Dave King already. He's been in the media this week as well, so we'll have a wee chat about what we think about that, and obviously looking for other people's opinions on it. The B team are playing tonight in the last 32 of the SPFL Trust Trophy, as I think it's called now. It used to be known as the Challenge Cup. So they're playing just now at Forth Bank Stadium against Fraserburgh. Have a wee chat about the B team and what we think how that's doing. Ticket pricing for Europa League came out this week as well, £42 a skull per game. We'll have a wee chat about that. And we've got just a small matter of a cup game this weekend coming up, and the return to our home of Ibrox.
£42 for a can of skull. It's skull lagers, but it was much cheaper in my day and age.
£42 a skull for a ticket to watch. Well, do you want to call it second class European football? Truth be told, that's what it is.
Aye, it is.
Basically,
There's 2 arguments in it. The club are going to say they need the money.
To be fair, like I was actually expecting it a little bit to be a little bit higher than that, but I don't think the fact that there's 4 home games as well now, which is it's a lot of money. It's what you need to pay all at once. It's 168 quid, my maths is correct, for the 4 games. And it's a lot of money for 4 games of football, but it'll be a full house, and that worked out in the calculator before the show that it's roughly £8 million in ticket sales.
So that's the argument you're going to get. But the other argument you're getting as well is that let me get this right, UEFA are capping prices as well in European football now. They've got their eye on this.
Well, that's away tickets.
Just for away tickets.
But that's the start. That could change.
True enough, yeah. Some of the tickets are, if you look at Aston Villa, I mean, I think Aston Villa are charging up to £95 a ticket. But
on the flip side of that, I'm sure Nice are a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
So there's different arguments. I know German football, they look after their fans. The French are probably similar.
Yeah, so I think when we go away from home, the most we can pay for a ticket is £35.
Yeah.
I think, roughly, approximately.
I'm about £48 for my ticket away to Malmo.
Alright, I thought that doesn't...
That's quite dear.
That's quite dear. I thought we might look into that because the cap, I thought the cap was £35.
Well, it has came through a friend that's in the members lounge,
right, okay.
So I don't know if there's something to do with that, whether I'm getting a better seat or something like that, so maybe that's a bad example, but the ticket price, and maybe it's still being looked at.
So would you be right now they've been at the Champions League in? Is that because that's your point you're making, isn't it?
Well, 50, I mean, you're probably talking £50 for a Champions League ticket now for Rangers, I mean...
Aye, really?
So it is cheaper.
They'll charge us as much as they possibly can, let's be honest.
As
much as they possibly think they can get away with, they'll take it off us.
But what I'm meaning is it is actually, I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. It's definitely, it's still cheaper than it would have been for the Champions League. So the argument the club will make is they have put a reduction on it, because it's a low level of European competition.
Yeah.
And your argument is it's not a low enough level for the fans.
Well, the thing is that they've given themselves room for manoeuvre. Obviously, we'd like to think we're going to be involved in the competition towards the latter stages of it. If we finish in the top 24, we'll play in that playoff.
I mean, see, if you just on that point, if you look at all these rules, it's actually harder to get knocked out than it is to qualify. Do you know what I mean?
But to be honest, every chance we'll do a Rangers, and we will do it.
Tam, I don't want to plug other shows, but I listen to Tam Cowan sometimes. He made a good point. He said, "Does anyone actually get knocked out of Europe?"
Well, that's about it. It's all about money. Again, it's all, the whole thing that people are sick about with football is it's all about money now. The whole commercial side of it. The traditional football that we're all used to is gone, and that's never coming back. The players are on the verge. I mean, Rodri, the Man City Spanish international, has come out today and said that the players that he speaks to are on the verge of striking because there's no regard. The best example to give is Calvin Bassey. John Eagle 2 years ago for Rangers. Yeah. He played 65 games. Right now, he's young and fit and athletic, right? But that's 65. That's a season and a half, effectively, of games. Yeah. It was the most football in the world, I'm sure that was the start.
And plus, I mean, I don't know if he played. That's just club games. I don't know if he played for Nigeria as well.
I think that included his international appearances.
Right. Yeah. So you're asking, you're young, athletic, and fit. Don't get me wrong, but you're asking these players to play 55, 60 games a season, and plus with the new injury time and all that as well. It's an extra 7 or 8 minutes a game as well now, and so that adds up to another couple of games.
Well, these guys are wanting. They obviously were well aware that a professional football is a short career.
Aye.
And these guys are looking and hoping to play into their mid-30s would be a realistic. That's where they want to be. That's their window of earnings. So if they are playing 60 games regularly, what toll does that have on their body? Do you know, are they still going to be able to keep going into their 30s, or truth be told, it's the
injuries as well. It's the injuries that they're more susceptible to getting injuries, and if they do get an injury, it'll be a longer recovery time. Yeah. I mean, can't really blame that Rangers because.
Well, that's was it the World Club Cup next year's the new format in the US? But it's going to be basically played almost kind of like a World Cup, if you like. They're going to have group stages. It's getting held all over America, and all the top players, like you're talking about your Rodris and what have you, this world, they'll be expected to go and play in that. So they're not going to get their summer break.
About 4 years ago now, there was the European Super League was curtailed and it was a bit of a revolt. But I genuinely think that they're trying to do it by stealth a little bit. Well, through the back door, because every year the value. I mean, fair enough, the Premier League Italian different, but for the SPL, for example, the value that's playing in the Scottish Premier League is getting less and less, and the value of playing units getting more and more. So I actually think Scottish football has to readdress that and actually help its clubs a bit more in Europe, because that's where the money is. Look at Kilmarnock and St Mirren get poor starts to the season because they've been playing in Europe, so have Hearts, so you can probably attribute Hearts' start to the season for that as well. And we had to rush about for getting ready for Kiev, etc. So it's just I think there's a different conversation, a different night maybe on that, but it's just getting crazy.
You're probably talking a 16-team league only playing each other twice.
But again, the problem with Scottish football, mate, is that it's all about self. It's all they want clubs like, I know you wouldn't believe it now with the rules like the Tifo and that on Sunday, but clubs like Dundee United, Celtic, and Kilmarnock, they want to have 2 home games against the old firm because that's their money for the whole season.
That's their bread and butter. As much as they hate it.
And plus Sky, and Sky want the 4. The only reason Sky are pumping money into football in Scotland is because there's 4 Old Firm games.
There'll be a contract obligation there with the Scottish League that they have to have 4 televised Old Firm games a season. Yeah. Realistically, that's the only reason they are paying for Scottish football. And
if you took that out of the equation, there wouldn't be a deal.
Aye, well, you look at the quality of the game. Aston Villa against Everton at the weekend. Fantastic for a neutral watching that. It's a fantastic game of football.
There's much more value.
And then you're putting on as a neutral. Obviously, we're going to watch it because we're Rangers fans. But if you were a neutral watching Dundee United against Rangers at the weekend, you'd be switching it off.
Yeah, and obviously a couple of weeks time on Sunday, 2 weeks on Sunday, we're playing at 8 o'clock at night. And the problem is we can say how crap that is and all, but at the end of the day, we don't have a leg to stand on because that's what's dictated to us. And it's either that or throw away £3 or £4 million, and Rangers can't do that.
No. And you're also taking out your fans out of the equation as well. You're putting barriers up in front of your fans all over the world not to be able to watch you.
It's no good the way modern football's gone, but it's no changing. It's going to get worse if anything.
Yeah, as I say, they're slowly eroding the value of domestic football year by year.
Anyway, that's my first moan.
Yeah, right. Do you want to moan about the game of the weekend?
I reckon we go for
How
the
shite were
referees.
we at the weekend?
I reckon we go for
Ryan,
the
this
referees.
is a family show.
Sorry.
No, listen, I disagree, right? I think that we finished the game poorly, but I thought for the first half we were very good. But Dundee United did not have a shot on goal until the whole first half.
So you're sounding like come on now. Right.
Good, well, I'm sorry to say it, right? I'm sorry to say it, but Dundee United didn't have a shot on goal the first half, right? That's an improvement. Some of the players played really well the first half, Yefty, Suter, Lawrence, etc. And I thought I thought we played really well the first half. Yes, we did a lot in the second half, but I disagree. I don't think we were that. I don't think we were as bad as you made out there. I think the second half was poorer, but I thought the first half we were very good.
Aye, I think there was a lot of nerves. I think that's the first thing. First thing I want to talk about is the supporters. I thought the support was outstanding. There was a lot of talk about the support. One guy or two guys criticising Tavernier. I'm not going to get into it, and the manager in their personal space, should we call it. But when you seen the Rangers support at the weekend, they were outstanding, and I think we always should credit that. 5,000 Rangers fans at the game, that's what they're saying.
I think we were at about 4,000 on tickets, and the song for the full 90 minutes.
It was fantastic. So the fans are behind the club, whatever anybody's saying, the fans are behind them. In terms of performance, all we wanted was a result more than anything, and a clean sheet would have been nice. I think what Ryan's alluding to is the fact that because we scored in the first 7 minutes, you then do the Rangers thing and go, we're going to really get a right lot of goals here. And we should have. There was plenty of chances. I think Gordy's right or no. I can't think he had that many chances that Dundee United had. And that's a testimony to our defence, back to Jeffy, and also Proper and Suter are forming a good partnership. And I don't think Tavernier played as bad as a lot of people made it.
You're right in the sense that he didn't have a particularly bad game, but he wasn't very effective, and he was done a few times for crosses as you expect these days, unfortunately. So we made a good point on Sunday when we were talking about it. The only thing I can say about Tav is that he didn't really make a mistake, and if we were talking about a club captain of Rangers at that stage of his career saying, "Oh, we're quite lucky he didn't make a mistake," then that's a problem in itself.
I think, as we've spoken about too many times, but again, it's time to move him on to a different position. Maybe if you're going to keep him on the park,
forward,
get Sterling into right back. But I don't see the manager doing that. So
I don't think Sterling was particularly happy when he came on Sunday either. It didn't look like he was up for it.
I can't blame him because he must be thinking, when's my chance?
Yeah, that must be hard for him.
I don't have a place for Tavernier in my Rangers 11 at the moment, to be honest with you. I love everything he's done for the club and I appreciate it. He's given us some right special moments, do you know what I mean? But there comes a time in every Rangers player's career where unfortunately you need to step aside and let a younger, fitter.
I actually think it's unfair on Tavernier in there a wee bit. I think he knows deep down it's time to go. And all his pals have kind of left as well. He's probably thinking I was getting away.
Yeah, it's just the passages of play we were maybe breaking on. A couple of times Dundee United had a corner, we obviously win the header proper, sort of doing well and stuff and getting out, and you think, right, go, have a go, and it goes out wide, the next thing you know it's in at the centre mids, and Dundee United have got a chance to reset and go back in, and years gone by, Tavernier he smashed up that park, hitting the byline, getting the cross in, his legs have gone.
He seemed nervous.
And his mind, I think, as well.
He seemed nervous. It was, I said on Sunday, like, he seemed as if he was like detached from the game at some point.
He's probably wanting the game finished, he's undone me. And
it's a shame.
I spoke to my brother Mark, we went for a bite the other night, and he was saying that maybe he needs a bit of luck, maybe he's needing something to happen when he gets a goal, like one of his free kicks or something, to spur him again. But at long term, Rangers need to look at the replacement, and I think, sorry, I'm getting boke. I think it's Sterling's a natural replacement for him.
Yep.
We've spoken about changing tactics, but anyway, midfield, this is where I think Rangers are struggling.
Why?
Why? I don't think we've got the right balance in the midfield. I think Lawrence, who scored a good goal but missed two good chances, and Diamonde, I don't think the two of them together are effective enough.
Remember you've got Barron in there as well though.
Aye, so Barron's doing a good job, but Barron's a young boy that needs experience in my opinion, and I thought we were better when Raskin came on. However, I just feel as if we're ineffective in the midfield completely. What's your thoughts on that?
I find it worries me how quickly teams seem to carve us open from the middle of the park. It seems almost that a team's got the ball in defence and all of a sudden they're into our last third. It seems to happen very quickly, very easily.
As if it's planned.
It's almost like there's just through balls coming through, and it's almost, sometimes it almost feels as if we're playing with 10 men, just when it feels the way that, and we're missing that linchpin in the middle of the park, that kind of vastly experienced,
number 10.
older, more mature head in there. We're playing with fantastic young players, like you said about Diamande and Barn and stuff like that, but you sometimes need that older, wiser guy in there that's just positional sense, we're talking about people so their legs go. That they don't need to necessarily have great legs, but they've got a great mind and they know their position is absolute. And I think that's what we're missing at this moment in time.
I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit, disagree. I don't really think that we're struggling in midfield. I think it could be better, and I think that there's room for improvement. But again, second half, I keep going back to this. First half, I thought the midfield was very good on Sunday. I thought Barron played very well. I thought Lawrence played very well, and I thought Diomande was out the three was probably the worst, but they still didn't have a bad first half as such. So that's your three midfielders, and again we didn't create anything in the first half. We totally dominated them in the first half. They were making subs after 35 minutes because we were dominating them. Yep. So, and don't get me wrong, I don't know what happened in the second half, so that's where maybe a little bit of inexperience comes in, and that's where you say to yourself, yeah, you need somebody a bit more experience in there for the second half. But I think with everything on at Rangers right now, we're a bit more negative than we would normally be. That's just my own personal opinion. But I definitely think that we didn't. First half I thought we were very good, but second half, yeah, I agree. Second half there's room for improvement, but I don't think it was. I wouldn't go as far as say the midfield were ineffective.
I mean, I agree that we were good. I do think we played good football during most of the game, but you've got to be deadly. And unfortunately, I like Cyril Dessers, but Dessers isn't going to be the answer long term. I don't think.
Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree with your side, Brian.
Dessers for me, no. I think, to be honest with you, I think the club were looking to sell him in the summer. I think bids were accepted, but I don't think he agreed personal terms to leave. I think Atlanta in the States put a decent offer to him, and I think the club were actively looking to sell him, but for whatever reason it just never happened. Looking back at it now, I'm quite glad we didn't sell him. He's obviously started reasonably well, but we do need to have somebody that we can rely on. You know, I think at one point he went down injured. I think when the Gallagher went through him in the middle of the park, right in the centre spot, and you're looking at it going, Christ, if he's injured, we're knackered. We're in serious trouble here. Obviously we get the Moroccan boy Yamani, but it's very unknown, very untested, and you know there's a couple of sprouts there you're hoping, but I think the club would have sold him, truth be told there.
Another thing is, and I don't want to sound like the doom and gloom, but I'm starting to get the belief now that we're never going to see a fully fit Danilo.
Well, I'm starting to agree with that as well, to be perfectly honest. I mean, it speaks volumes that our European campaign would run right through the end of January,
and he's not in it.
He's not even thought about for those games. So he was best part of £5 million at the time. For Rangers these days, that's a hell of a lot of money.
He was a big signing last year.
He was a big signing.
He's picking up a good wage as well.
He'll
be one of, if not the highest there at the club.
You're talking 25, 30. I think with Danilo, you're probably talking about 30 grand a week. Plus bonuses.
For a guy that's never...
It's the same, it's just a Keema Roof all over again, isn't it? That he'll maybe come on and play a couple of games, but it's quite worrying.
I hope I'm right.
I thought Dessers was abysmal on Sunday, to be perfectly honest. I thought he went down too easily.
They had him to a tee. Like I said to you in the Spotify podcast, they played a high line and they kept Dessers facing his own goal. Dessers is more dangerous when he's trying to run in behind. They kept Dessers up the park facing his own goal where he's completely ineffectual. They stuck Gallagher on him in the first half. Gallagher went in physical all the way.
And he wasn't comfortable with it.
Dessers can't hold a ball in if there's somebody on his back. It bounces off him. It's like Teflon Dessers. Just nothing will stick, right? And then Gallagher took the foul. So then, right, no problem at all. The boy Graham then went on him for the second.
That's a good nickname actually.
So and then the boy Graham then went on him till he took a booking, and by the time he took the booking,
calculated.
It's just professional more than anything. They dealt with him in a professional manner, but that's Dundee United. Deal with him. What's
a good team going to do?
What's your likes of your Man U's and your Leons of this world going to do against them?
They're going to punish us.
We'll find out soon.
I'll find out soon. I'll be back on the bevy bin in. I'm going to talk about the new players in a minute, but I want to get your opinions on this. We haven't had a chance because we the day before we done our prep here for it, we did day prep, honestly. As the challenge on Conor Barron. Now, my opinion of it is if the Lundstrom challenge last season as a sending off, because he was sent off almost instantly as soon as it went to the VAR. The rules of the game now, I think that's a definite sending off. It was a dangerous tackle. Chris Sutton said he made contact. You're like, no, that was, to me, a definite sending off.
I think there was two elements to it. There was the original tackle and then there's a trailing leg which catches Barron and a follow through as well. So I don't think there's no argument for me on the fact that it was a red card. I don't really think there was much doubt it was a red card as well. And the boy, the camera panned to him as well.
He seemed to accept it.
He thought it was a red card coming.
Well, the boxes they tick with that, as far as I know, are speed of the tackle, was far too fast,
Yeah.
lack of control, excessive force and endangering an opponent. If you tick those 4 boxes, you're in the territory of getting sent off. And that's what happened with Lundstrom last season. The only kind of real difference with Lundstrom's tackle on that one at the weekend was Lundstrom's was 2-footed.
Yeah.
But excessive force, lack of, all those boxes were ticked.
Was there no challenge with Stirling as well last year? That was similar.
Stirling slipped
But
again,
quite similar.
but he went in 2-footed again, but he slipped. It was accident, lack of control through accidental slipping. It's a shame. The boy for St Johnstone that gets sent off earlier on in the season, his name escapes me, but he gets sent off against Hibs earlier on in the season, and he never actually even made contact with the guy. But it was the whole 4 boxes getting ticked, and he gets himself sent off. So
it's back to what my opinion of it is. What annoys me the most is the consistency here with refereeing. I don't think they're consistent.
they struggle with it.
Yeah, I mean, not only that, it did go to VAR, didn't it?
Yeah.
It did go to VAR, so not only did the referee not
They had a second chance in it.
but I mean, I think the story, the proof's in the pudding when the camera panned to the player himself when it went to VAR, and I think he looked convinced he was getting a red card, and that for me that says it all.
Right, let's go into the new players. Gordy's volunteered to pronounce their names. I'll leave you be with that. So,
Okay, so the first player is the Moroccan striker, yeah.
Iganami.
So, don't need to swear, Simon. So we thought that I thought
It's
he
early
came on-
doors.
I thought I don't really think he came on when he first came on a few weeks ago. I didn't really see much of the impression made, but I think he had a good impression in the second half on Sunday, and he looked industrious. I don't remember any particular serious goal threat, but he played a hand in the chance that Lawrence had towards the end that he should have maybe scored. So, but all in all, he had much more,
Polished.
And he had more contributing. He contributed more to the game than Dessers did.
Yeah. Well,
I think he's got really good skill, control, and he's got an eye for when he gets the ball, he's direct. I know it's a farmer show, right, but we tend to fanny about. Right, if anybody's no Scottish, basically we tend to, fanny about's no description for fanning about.
Yep.
We tend to take 2 or 3 touches before we get near the goals. Lawrence is a classic for that, and this guy looks to be more direct. He can get the ball on the deck, and he looks for an opponent, and that opponent's forward. He never plays the ball behind him. It's still early doors, but I think this guy could be the answer to our up front problems.
it's done himself no harm, certainly. The thing for me, obviously, there was talk of the chance he'd laid on for Lawrence that you spoke about, the way he was bringing the ball in. Now, the best thing that he actually did the entire game for me was in the 92nd minute, and a cross came in at the back post, right? Now, there was 3 minutes of injury time to be played.
Yeah.
People are shading him with, he's the next Morelos. He's had this Morelos thing going, which he's always going to probably get, right? But Morelos would have hit a shot when this ball came in the 92nd minute.
Aye.
The ball would have probably went out for a bye kick or went out the stadium.
And
Next thing you know, Dundee United have got a bye
attack.
kick and they've got a chance to come and have an attack. The boy, unselfishly, took the ball in there, almost on their 6 yard, just the corner
right,
6 yard, and he ran into the corner flag. For me, that was
Yeah.
maturity beyond his years. A real, that's unbelievable, fantastic. I was so pleased when I said, "Oh Christ, they're going." And he just ran the ball out. Next thing you know, wasted another 30 seconds. It was brilliant to
It's
see.
intelligent football, and that's something that
Fantastic.
he's got.
And that's something that's really hard to coach into a player, to be honest, especially a young boy like that.
So to jump the gun a wee bit now, we've got Dundee at the weekend in the League Cup. I think we need to play him the 90 minutes. Give Dessers a rest, because I know what I'd be Dessers bashing, but I think this boy needs a full 90 minutes to see what he's got in his locker.
I think at the very least you start with him on Saturday. There's no point a sub coming on, having a good game, a good impression, and getting dropped for the next game. So he's come on. Dessers hasn't played particularly well. He's come on and did all right. So I think he's played himself into the team. Now whether he plays 90 minutes or not, that's fine. But I think that he comes on for. I think he plays for at least the first half, if not 65 minutes or so.
So, got to give a bit of Rangers trivia here. Good Rangers players with moustaches, I can think of 2. I'm going to go with Souness, and I'm going to go with Dale Gordon. That's all I can think of. Moustaches and good players. There's not many.
By the way,
And you can't mention the ladies' team.
Yeah.
we'll get woke, we'll be cut off, right?
you're killing me here, man.
Aye, there's no many.
No, I'm struggling here.
Gordy, you can't ask Davey Heard now.
I was going to say, where's my pal
Phone a
Davey?
friend.
Where's my pal Davey when I need
I
him?
tell you, John Gregg had a moustache for a while.
There's a goatee.
Aye, John
There's
Gregg.
a goatee.
Aye,
Is a goatee a moustache? Or that says
Aye,
a
he was
beard?
kind of going about with this for a while. Didn't he? Around about just as colour television was starting to come
And
through.
he got it in the build up to Barcelona and said they
Yeah.
wouldn't shave until they won it.
Yeah, yeah.
I can't think of one single
If
player.
you're watching, tell us a good Rangers player.
You always
with a
say that because
moustache.
you see Soonest up there. That's the only reason. That's the only
Well,
reason
listen,
you've got
that's
that.
two, I'm getting these two. Dale Gordon's another one.
He's done this before the game, before the show, deliberately trying to catch us out here.
There isn't many.
That's blown my mind.
I think maybe right now, this is Davy Hill's favourite player, so I could be wrong. But I think there was a wee spell in the 70s that Derek Johnson might have had a moustache.
Yeah, he did. You're right.
I was actually going to say Derek Johnson, but it was just a guess rather than any actual factual information that I knew.
But keep a moustache, if that's going to get the performances, keep a moustache.
Oh, aye, we'll take it at the moment.
So, other players, right, who was other players that came
Bajrami,
in?
the Albanian.
Yep, Bajrami.
He's come on and again looked alright. I don't think he set the world on fire, but again he had a couple of nice touches. I'll use that word, industrious again. Bit of energy, and I mean he's played well. He's done really well for Albania. He's done well in last season, at least in Serie A with Sassuolo. So he can't be a bad player, and I think we're crying out for that energetic number 10.
Yeah.
Aye, 100%. Did he not play on the wing at the weekend? But I know he's a number 10. We played him out of position, I think, and that's a bit unfair to judge him on that for he is. I think time will tell with him. He's got a good touch, but he came on a bit late in the game. See if he had a couple of goals and then we brought him on, I think it might have been a bit different.
We must be the only club in the world that can have like 4 or 5 winners every season and play none of them.
None of them
week out.
Still end up with Scott Wright.
So that's actually true.
So because Chelsea was out as well at the weekend, so I was a bit surprised to see Cortez starting. I don't think Cortez did a good game, unfortunately. And Dull, I don't know if Cortez started in the left and Dull started in the right. I've never seen Dull as a right midfielder in my life. But
no, I don't know. That was one of the things I meant to comment on actually earlier on. I thought the team, Davy Dodds, there's a good one, Davy Dodds moustache.
Well done.
Aye,
good shout.
The elephant man. That was a really good shout. That was his nickname.
Was it?
Aye, Davy Dodds, the elephant man.
Handsome lad.
The actual team selection.
Name site if I'll have a couple of
Get
years
the moustaches in. People are joining in now with the moustaches. I think there'll be a few. What's your thoughts with the actual selection? I forgot to mention that. I was because you mentioned Dow.
I alluded to it then. It was very strange. I don't think he should. I don't think this is a game to start Cortez coming back from injury. I think the game on Saturday, League Cup at home, when all week's rest is a game to start Cortez coming back from injury. So I was surprised on that. But then again, it just seems strange that are signing Czerny's out, and you don't know sometimes what's happening at Rangers with it.
Well, that's why I was praising Dessers in the past. Dessers never seems to get these wee injuries. I think Czerny, and I don't know enough about it, but I think he said he's got a virus or an illness. Is that different? But they just said he wasn't playing, basically he had an illness or whatever.
There's a chance he's got COVID in the way back for
Possibly,
internationals. I don't know, I know you're saying surprised they started Cortez, but to be honest with you, I've not seen anything else, any other option. No, he could have maybe started Bajrami.
Well,
but I think
but Tondo's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think he could have started McCausland in that position.
Maybe.
Well, he was coming back for international by knock as well. No, the manager did say at the press on the Friday saying that he was carrying a knock.
It was quite popular on social media that most people were unhappy with the starting 11. I never seen anybody happy with it.
And I keep going back to it. I thought we played the exception. It was strange because I don't think every Rangers player had a good first half, but I thought overall we played very well the first half. So I thought Dull did alright as well. It wasn't great, but he had a couple of efforts at goal, and I think Jetty did a really good first half, good crosses into the box. So it could have been 2 or 3-0 up at the first half, and then that's what you remember. But it was frustrating because Cortez and Dessers doesn't play well at all.
Mark Aitken's gives a wee comment here saying that the Rangers Celtic game's now been confirmed for a 3 o'clock kick-off on, is it New Year's Day or is it?
No, it's the second.
That's
a Thursday, I think.
2nd of January.
Yeah.
3 o'clock.
Yep.
What could possibly go wrong?
I know.
People
People just don't stop drinking for the whole 3 days.
That's
Guilty.
That's your New Year solid, isn't it? Really?
That's it. Everybody's like, right, I'll be off the Friday, and then the Monday, maybe the Tuesday, and maybe.
I'm taking a day in lieu.
A
week in lieu.
After a couple of days up here, he's a couple of days in the lieu, but I don't mind. I think we need to mention the fact that our chairman stepping down on Saturday as well. We've not actually covered that, so maybe spend a couple of minutes just talking about that.
So a couple of things on it. I want to say we'll have an opinion on it. I've not been very happy. No, I think John Bennett didn't have the greatest term as the Rangers chairman. However, if the stories are true that he's not well and he's ill, I don't think our channel or any Rangers channel should, because I've seen maybe no personal abuse, but people ranting and raving, and sometimes you go, look, just leave it at that and move on.
You don't know the circumstances.
You don't know what happens behind closed doors and things like that, and the rumour is that he wasn't well. So I think you would agree with me, we shouldn't really be. There shouldn't be any personal abuse with the guy.
As we said a few weeks ago, was Ryan, but you put together your amazing work on the last kind of 4 or 5 years at board level at Rangers. We said right for that moment is we can criticise when asked questions, but we don't have any personal abuse. I think that's when you draw the line.
We've got absolutely no doubt that he tried his very best, and we thank him for trying his best. He put his hand in his pocket for the club. That
he's certainly a Rangers man. At
times that other people wouldn't put their hand in their pocket, and he's came and he's done the best he possibly can, and we wish him all the best, and hopefully he gets well soon.
And with it being a doctor, the stress I was under watching Rangers, if he's the chairman, he must have been under a lot of stress.
Absolutely.
Fair enough. So John Gilligan's came in.
John
We'll speak about the Dave King thing in a minute. There might even be updates on it, because that's changing every 5 minutes, isn't it?
Yeah.
John Gilligan, born in Glasgow, keen golfer. I've known John for a long, long time. John was started his life as a joiner and then became a salesman and a sales rep, I believe, with the breweries, mainly William Morton and then Tennent's Lager, where he was a massive success with Tennent's Lager, and they got involved with Rangers Football Club. I was on the Rangers Supporters Trust board with John, so I knew him personally. John was one of the guys that got involved when we won the club back, and he was a director when we needed him at the time. He served Rangers well in the past, and now get this right, he ran the Cross Keys bar, which is a Rangers bar in Stevenson, and he also, I think he was part of the supporters club, but he's toured all over the world doing events with Rangers, so he's very well known. If anybody doesn't know John Gilligan, somebody that's friendly will know him. He's 100% committed to Rangers Football Club, and I wish him all the best.
I don't think we can take anything for that. I did into that actually. That was a very good summary, and it's fantastic summary there, side.
Thank you for stepping up in our time of need.
Totally agree.
That's a big thing, because it's alright everybody going, I would do it. No, you wouldn't.
I do have a quick question for you guys. Something I would think about. Do we romanticise about Dave King sometimes? Was he how effective? I honestly trying to think of this. It's sometimes when you look back and people were talking about maybe Gerrard coming back and this and that. I mean, what was Dave King a very effective chairman in your opinions?
Well, he appointed Mark Allen, didn't he? And Mark Allen oversaw the Gerrard recruitment.
Yeah,
you know, he knew him from his Liverpool days.
There's two parts to the King story, because obviously he was involved with the David Murray era and famously lost £20 million. No doubt he's a Rangers man. No doubt he's had now we need to watch what we say when it comes to legal things. I don't want us to get our arse kicked. But he's obviously got a colourful past, shall we say, with regard to the courts. But when you've got that kind of level of money, most people do have a colourful past, I would say. I think Gordy's right, and I think what's the problem that you've got, I spoke to Ryan about this yesterday with the wee chat on the phone, can't remember, it was about tickets and we started talking about it. There's a power surge, there's a power fight here, and I think you're right, the romance of Dave King is being promoted by certain players and certain ex-players and certain parts of the media. So for example, Alan McCoist wouldn't do anything for nothing, so McCoist came out and backed King because he's in the King camp, and there's the Dougie Park camp, and the guys in the Dougie Park camp are quite clear, a lot of the fan media and things like that, and they're all going to tell you the good side to them, and the ones that don't like them are going to tell you the bad side. Dave King coming back, I think you're right, there is a wee bit of, he's let Rangers down, he left us at a time in need, and there's a lot of things happening behind closed doors that we don't hear about. A wee bit inside me keeps, I think we just want a kind of sugar daddy sort of thing to come and ease the pain, but I really don't know if Dave King's the answer, and I don't like the way it's all going about. It's going to be all the dirty washing aired in public, and there's going to be a slanging match. The AGM's going to be, we've spoken about this, the AGM's going to be crazy, and I don't know if the Park family, they put a lot of money into Rangers, and our Rangers supporters with it foot out, but I think a lot of people would prefer the Park family not to be involved. But the level of money that these guys have got, it's not just a case of people think you can sack the board. You can't sack the board.
It's not as simple as that.
You get what I'm saying? You can't just sack the board.
You're not sacking the board, you're sacking the owners.
Aye, which you can't do.
You know, John Bennett's a 5% shareholder of the club.
Aye, and they don't just disappear.
No.
But for King to come in, right now, the Gordy, or Brian might know better about this than me, he can't just come in and do a coup. He needs to get lesser shareholders to basically back him, which he's probably already, well, he will already be doing. Without a doubt, he'll be doing that, right? But will they back him? I don't know. I really don't know how it'll go.
There's investment groups like that at Rangers as well. I seen it today. There's a couple of different investment groups that are made up of like maybe hundreds of different people.
It's hedge funds
and hedge funds and whatnot, and they've got 14% of the shares. A lot of people don't actually know
14%. The
Rangers.
real basis, that is king. That's his investment.
So some of the companies, if he can get them on board, then he could seize the power.
Yeah.
I think that's how it works.
What will happen is it's to do with your voting rights. The more shares you have in
the more power you've got.
The more power you've got.
Yeah.
So what he needs to do is he needs to get himself effectively voted onto the board as chairman. So he has to get enough votes. It's kind of like Parliament.
Aye.
You need to go round your constituents and get enough votes to get voted on.
And the problem you've got here is Dougie Park's not going to vote for Dave King, and Dave King's not going to vote for Dougie Park.
So they're basically your Conservative and your Labour, if you want to put it in.
It's a power struggle.
That's it there. So they've got to come forward. There's no doubt. And listen, if Mr. King wants to come back and look after that, he's coming back to make sure that his investment and his money doesn't go down the pan again.
Because he put a lot of money in.
Well, that's what happened last time. He lost a lot of money. So he's offering his services here to make sure that his investment's safe. And I've no doubt about it. He's a bigger Rangers fan as the three of us.
It's back to what I was saying about the people taking the side, right? So Talk Sport featured the interview, right? So you can tell right away, Talk Sport, McCoy's doing it, right? You've got Jim White. They're backing the King side.
Aye, yeah. Simon Jordan's obviously well spoken and stuff about it as well. He's a former owner of football guy. He's Crystal Palace owned.
From your point of view, we just need to kind of hope that the right one wins. But that might not happen.
Aye, well, the thing that I know you're saying that he maybe left us in a time of need, right? But I think from King's point of view, I think he thought his job was done. We'd won 55, we'd stopped to 10. The club was in a decent position. There was money in the bank.
Did he not step down before the 55?
He said he was going to.
Aye.
That's the thing. He predicted this house of cards. I don't know if you remember the interview. He said this is all going to come down on them house of cards, and he was right.
And I'm not against him coming in. I'm just trying to get the balanced argument.
Aye. So I think he probably felt he'd left it in good hands. But realistically, he left a rabbit in charge of lettuce.
I think what you need to do is people need to come out and say what their plans are, where the investment's coming from, and how it's going to look like.
Well, to be fair to King, he did say, I don't know if you heard the interview on TalkSport, he did say that would be his remit, as he doesn't have investors, but he would have to find new investors.
Yeah.
And
I mean, if you're an investor looking at money in somewhere, are Rangers really an attractive option?
And that's how hard a job it would be.
Well, that's at this moment in time. Aye, the guys that have been working, your Biscoes,
there's a lot of assets.
Your Stuart, they're trying to make Rangers that attractive. They're trying to do all these different revenue streams, my Gers, player trading models, sports bar here at the corner of the stadium with the mega store was your Edmondson.
It's frustrated us, but they've done a lot of things that will make the club attractive. Another thing quickly I just want to mention, because I think it's important, that's right, we've all been angry what happened at Ibrox with no having the stadium. Nobody more angry than me, right? Because we like the boozers at next to the stadium and all that stuff, right?
Yep.
And traditions, we all like our seats, right?
Yep.
But one thing I do think we have to acknowledge with the club, although they got the timing wrong and everything else, they done the right thing by disabled fans.
Yes. Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I guess it's one of these things where it was the right move, just the wrong timing off it. It was like
it was the right motives, is what I'm trying to say.
They didn't do it to harm Rangers. It was done with the best of intentions, but
they're putting disabled fans into an area and treating them the way they should be getting treated.
With respect.
If they presented it to us and say, listen, we're going to get you extra 600 seats, it's going to bring this much of revenue, we're going to improve facilities across the state, across the stand, and we think, well, great. Truth be told, they've not delivered the project as well as what they should have done, and I hope they learn their lessons if they plan to do it at the Broomloan side of the stadium. But they've tried to do a good, and it's a good thing what they've done. Certainly, you can't deny it. It's unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. You have to give praise when due.
It's what it's cost us. It's potentially arguably cost us a Champions League place.
I agree with that. So John Gilligan comes into place tomorrow. He's not started for Indy, doesn't know. He starts his job tomorrow. How long is he going to be in it for? This could be
until the AGM.
Yeah, I think the AGM is going to be messy, and it's going to get hyped up. This fight for the power.
Aye. Well, what was the one was they came out at the end of, and it was the three bears, and it was Park. Was it Paul Murray?
Paul Murray, Park,
and who was the other one?
George Latham.
Yeah. The three came out, and they basically came out like they'd say
the victory.
They came out. We've got the club back.
And basically. John was part of that kind of consortium as well.
Aye. So you could see something kind of like that where King's basically got.
It's messy. This is what upsets us all. But we just want to see the club winning.
It's an unwanted distraction from when the team's not performed particularly well. It's an unwanted distraction, really.
Aye, 100%. How do you think it's going to end? I don't know. I personally really don't know.
Who's got the deepest pockets? Who's got the bigger wallet? Somebody's going to have to be bought out.
I think it's going to come down to something.
They're not going to work together.
I think it might come down to who's got the best PR.
I think that's what I was alluding to earlier on, Gordy. They're starting to get their PR men on side, right?
Yep.
Guys in the media are not just talking about these guys, and people think they're all Rangers legends, right? See these guys when they come out and talk, they don't talk unless they're effectively in one side or the other. Now, some of the Rangers legends
They
get
might have
frozen out.
They might have an agenda, yeah.
Aye, some of the Rangers legends, as you know, get frozen out with the last when Dave King left, right? We've seen that before, and then they're trying to get back in, right? So even they blame them, people want to look after they've got mortgages and everything, right?
Yeah.
So there's two sides to this, and the PR might be who's got the Rangers get terrible PR at best at times, so that could be a long one.
It's not going to be up to us at the end of the day. They could have all the PR and all the. It's not going to be up to us at the end of the day. Unless we're shareholders, unless we get voting rights.
Unfortunately, I think you're right, and I think it's going to be messy.
It's businessmen are going to make a business decision, and as much as I think if the fans had their way, I think King would get it. I think King's got credit in the bank as far as fans are concerned.
I take your point as businessman. At the end of the day, though, if you're an unpopular figure and if you're portrayed as an unpopular figure in the media, then why would you want the job? So I think I do think the PR's going to have a part to play in it, but ultimately I just don't see any big investment coming, and that's what's needed right now.
So what if neither of the twins shall meet, right? So Dougie Park can obviously get...
Can I just say one very quickly? I don't think there's much difference between the two of them, to be perfectly honest.
Right, but what I was going to say, right, the two of them don't like each other. What if they have to work with together, right? And what if John Gilligan does a good job, right, in the next couple of months before the AGM? Could we get a scenario where they go, right, we're going to stay the status quo here, we're going to have to work together, or is it too late for that?
I'd like to think not, because I think that's actually probably the best solution for all, because they've probably both got their own
I think it's the best
individual
solution.
talents as businessmen, you know.
I don't think it'll happen, but I think it's the best solution.
Aye, yeah. Either that or they both sell up. Do you know, if they both sell up, that's, 27% of the club events actually up for sale, and that may be an attractive proposition to an investor. See, look, these two guys...
Well, if I'm investing in that, I've not got that kind of money, obviously, but if you're investing in that, probably the first thing you'd say is I want the sniping away and I want all the negatives away.
Aye, because from an investor, if you're talking about, a rich American or a rich, Arab or a rich Indian or something like coming across to do it, you're actually looking at, they might turn and say 14% is not enough for me. I'm no willing to put in. That's not. If I'm buying this, I'm buying this. I want
the full shebang.
I want at least 50% of it. So if that's not for sale, I'm not interested. I want to buy it or I don't want to buy it.
So if you're watching, let us know your opinion on that. It's stuff that we need to talk about, but we don't want to be talking about it all night. We're back at Ibrox at the weekend.
Brilliant. Yeah, so we've actually got our jam-packed couple of weeks. So we've got Dundee at home. Then we've then got a European game away at Malmo, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Then we've got a home game against Hibs. Then we've got a home game against Leon. And then I believe we might have another home game against Hibs as well.
There's a St Johnson Sunday 8 o'clock chucked in there.
Aye,
well, the Dundee game's a cup game, and they win that obviously.
Yeah. So we've got 4. Then there's a break for 2 weeks after that. So the next 3 weeks are going to be, if we say it every week when we're talking about games, but 3 weeks are crucial. We could potentially, there's no reason why we can't win in Malmo and potentially get points against Leon as well.
It's a funny old game. Things can change.
We could actually be sitting, through to the semi-final of the League Cup. We could be, put our bad start of the season behind us and be at least second, maybe potentially closing the gap at the top and sitting at 6 points.
What's in that league? He's sitting.
So, there you go. That's us show over.
That's it. 8th of January, 3 points ahead, boom. Sales to lose, let's go.
Get the tickets booked at Bilbao for the final.
That's it.
The big one for me, a lot of these players haven't played at Ibrox.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I do believe, I know it's a cop-out and I know it's a bit of an excuse, but I do believe that people are saying, like Dave King, to quote him, he called it the soulless Hampden. I feel as if there's no soul yet. The players that are coming, that have just came to the club, guys like Proper, they will love Ibrox Stadium, and I think it'll be electric at the weekend.
Yep.
I also think, I'm a big critic of this, I think he'll probably agree with me because he's like a wee bevy, and I laugh at. The 5:30 kick-off means that people will probably be in the party mood, shall I say.
Yep.
I think the club have done really well by moving the game to Ibrox, because it means if the game's at Hampden, you're only going to sell 20,000 tickets.
It's depressing.
But if the game is back at Ibrox on a Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock or 5:30, I think that's another 20,000 tickets getting sold. Yeah. So actually, it's not a bad. That's an extra. Probably going to make £500,000 out of it.
It's a good move. It's a good fuel factor as well, because we're all desperate to get back.
It's great when you want to see likes of your Audreys at the wee Rangers, Robert, you want to see all
Oh,
these
the
guys.
Rangers pals.
What?
Do you say Rodri? He plays for Man City.
Audrey.
Audrey. I thought you said Rodri. I was like, is this a signing coming out
I think
the
the guy
back?
that owns the chippy and he pays the Road West says he's done something with 6,000 sausage suppers at a weekend or something.
Right.
It's something crazy
That's
like
a
that.
lot of sausage.
By the way, it's there. But that's,
Behave yourself.
it's all these wee things that maybe people don't realise when the stadium closed. It's all the kind of subsidiary businesses in and around the stadium that have suffered as well.
Yeah, there's a
So it'd
lot
be great to
of
see these guys get back and get a turn and
a
back
lot.
where we belong.
secondary income, as it's called, I believe.
Yep.
But I think the 5:30 kick-off will add to it. I'm a 3 o'clock kick-off guy, right? Old-fashioned. Rangers da, some of them call you. You're a Rangers da because you've got old opinions. But the 5:30 kick-off on this occasion will make people enjoy the weekend more.
Yeah.
Now, on to that, on the Friday night, we want to give a wee plug to the Lounge 72.
Yeah, so great friend to the show. It's a great location, just next to Canvas Line train station. It's literally, I've checked it before we come in tonight. It's 10 minutes to the town, and it's right next to the train station in Canvas Line. So Simon telling the rest of it Friday night.
So it's John Brown and
Did
Ian
you ever
Gerrard.
have a moustache? No. John Brown ever have
No,
a
but
moustache?
I'm telling you, Durant's never. I don't think Durant can grow a moustache. Durant and Bomber, basically two proper Rangers men doing their bit in a Rangers bar. It's 10 minutes on a train if you're going to go through. Now, the reason we're trying to plug this a wee bit is Lounge 72 have supported us in the last 6 months.
Yep,
and they've been
absolutely
good friends to us.
fantastic.
So we're going to try and get along. He'll be there anyway.
I don't want to speak to, so it's not been confirmed, and I don't have anything from my work's watching, so I can't commit just now.
However,
You got a Saturday morning shift in the war, something.
well.
Sicky already.
it's a tenner a ticket, but for these type of nights, that's good value, and it's a really nice pint. And that's a big thing for me. When you get in a bar and you get a nice pint and a nice service.
Durant and Bomber will see the fans. You'll have a great night with they two. They're absolutely fantastic guys. The stories they'll tell, the laughter, they're really down to earth, proper true blue legends, man. It'll be a great night.
Or maybe a
Absolutely
better
right.
description would be no cameras.
Aye, yes. Yeah.
So if you're looking for something to do on Friday night, you'll have a few extra hours in bed and start as well, because the game's at 5:30
Yep.
rather than
So
3
no
o'clock,
excuses not to
so-
go along then.
No excuse
go,
not
aye.
to go along. So get yourself along to Lounge 72 in Canvas Slang, and if you want to message your page and let us know you're going, we'll try and get some pictures on that with you as
Is there
well.
no Urdingston?
It's Uddingston, aye, just
I'll
see
I'll
Canvas
just
Line.
did I say
Uddingston.
Canvas
Aye,
Line?
sorry. It's
I'll
only
just
10
sorry.
mile difference or something.
I'm so sorry.
God, these are very nice. Like I've been measuring it out and all
This
that.
is why I've not been able to find it the last couple of times I tried to go. But it is actually just 2 minutes away from the train station, and it's only 10-15 minutes for town, and it's
Tickets are limited, so don't be slow.
Now, another thing I was going to mention was the Quarry Bar is apparently shutting. So see when people, I don't mean moan in a bad way, but it's alright, we'll go, that's terrible. The only way to stop these things happening is supporting Rangers bars. A special mention I want to do quickly is to the Loudon Tavern in Duke Street. The young lad Richie took it there about 1.5 years ago, and he's grafting his arse off. I don't really know him that well, but I can see the amount of work he's putting in trying to keep that bar going. Now, a lot of people maybe, I'll go in now and again. The problem is with the Rangers bars is when they disappear, everybody goes, I miss it. And if you've not got a bar in your tune, you would love to have one, so
Well,
support them.
There's not really. There used to be a great park bar and I don't want to go back to. I'm getting to that stage.
Back in the day.
I'm actually getting to that stage.
Back
I
in
might
Nam.
start to say that.
Aye.
But it was a place called the Croft.
That's right, Paisley.
Aye, it was right next to my. Actually, I won't say.
It's like your old granda going on about
how
Woodstock.
close it is. But I thought that was a great Rangers pub, and that disappeared.
It's just not getting used enough. People know buying people don't buy beer as much, I get that, but we would have to say that any Rangers bar at all, if we can give them any promotion or any events, get it out there, because we need Rangers bars for the community.
But please get yourself on Lounge 72 on Friday night
Uddingston.
in.
Uddingston.
There you go. Can we edit that little five? Can we edit that bit
Cut.
later? So we've been on air for almost an hour, I think, which is a long time.
Well, just a quick shout out, the Bristol Bar, I'm going to do a book signing with Marvin Andrews on the September weekend. Greg is just booked at the last minute. I'll be in for about a wee hour. I'm no drinking, so I'm going to Coca-Cola.
Aye.
Another bar that
That's
supported us.
3 times in the last 10 minutes he said about not drinking. I think he's trying to convince himself here, Ryan. I don't know if he's trying to convince others than himself.
His sponsors try to make sure, listen, the more you talk about it.
I know.
So
No, the doctor told me I'm off it for a month.
I'm just trying to find
She
your-
said I'm off it forever, right enough to be honest, but I'd actually say to the doctor, have you seen Rangers playing? And she laughed. I said, I'm not going off
Simon
it.
goes to doctors, and doctor says, I think you've got a problem with drink. Simon goes, no, don't I love it?
Right, and a wee
My
live
dog-
score update for your Rangers B team.
Just
as
2
well.
seconds on that, my doctor's only doctor in Duke Street, basically, after how it is, boys, and cough. Right, on you go.
It's 1-0 to Rangers in the Challenge Cup.
There you go.
Can't believe you just said that.
Rangers 1, Fraserburgh 0.
Yeah.
What a positive
How
way
long
to
to go?
end the show.
Well, that's only 20 minutes ago, and it started at 7:45.
Is there anything else on that agenda that you wrote out?
It was just about the B team, basically. Obviously, we wish them well. The last 32 tie against Fraserburgh at Fourth Bank tonight in Stirling. The winner of that game gets a home tie against Stenhousemuir in the next round. So, obviously, we'd like to see the young players progress in the tournament as much as we can, gain experience. Robbie Fraser's playing tonight, and he's captain the side.
Good.
Good.
Lowry's playing as well. Bailey Rice. They're the kind of more recognised
You
names
want
in
to
the
get
team.
some of these guys on playing Saturday?
The boy that was signed for AC Milan, is it Nazalia?
I don't know, I just noticed that Gordy basically shout out the pronouncing the guy we got for Feyenoord when I said about the pronunciations.
I haven't even started it, man.
The other guy that we said with all three starts.
He didn't
He
play.
starts on Saturday as well.
He didn't play on Saturday, so Sunday, so
I mean,
we're not
but he was still part of the team, so but he's got to pronounce his name. I want to get a nickname from Malky or something.
Aye.
That was lovely, it was laughing there, by the way, I don't know why, but the dogs started laughing, that's when you realise the quality of the show.
Someone's got to.
Anything else I missed out on, quickly?
No, it was just the last thing on the agenda was the B team and just how we think the B team did. Is it worthwhile having a B team?
Oh, definitely.
Is
I
it?
think it was, and I'm fanning it. Aye. It's experience. It's playing 90 minutes. It's playing rude. Look, it's not.
I prefer reserve football, but we're not in the reserve, so...
I actually disagree with that. I prefer the B team situation, but it's all about opinions.
Well, they try to get the B team. Most top level European leagues have a B team format. You know, you get Bayern Munich, get a B team, Ajax young team, or Ajax young, or whatever they're called. Barcelona B, C, though they go right through. The top clubs have them. I've been a big advocate of having it, to be honest, because we obviously know how starved the young players are of getting a chance at Rangers. But the thing that basically the SPFL wouldn't let them in. They wouldn't let them into the third division, and they ended up in the Lowland League. They basically couldn't go into the pyramid system at all. Rangers played in it last season, along with Celtic and Hearts put a team in as well. Rangers pulled out of this year. I think there was difficulty over money or something. I don't think they were happy with the cost of it or something.
So that's one of the Rangers young teams, but there's other Rangers young teams as well. But
That's your official B team.
I was talking about the boys going for scraps for each other.
Aye. You see they got their container broken into?
I'm not even going to comment on it. I just seen
don't know.
things that we're going on about.
No.
It's, as I say,
Talk about half, yeah.
it's always good to see the fans getting involved with stuff, as I say,
Yep.
the different levels. And I thought the support of the weekend, back to that before I finish, I thought it was outstanding, because the media would have picked up on it if the fans weren't getting behind the club.
Aye.
It was brilliant, it was great to hear it.
Well, it shows to the other SPL teams as well. See if you actually invite Rangers up and give us a half decent ticket allocation. Look at the atmosphere we create within your
I
stadium.
mean, the boys, the young team, the UB done the display, I think, with the Union Jacks. Did they do that?
Aye, they were denied a tifo.
They were denied a tifo, but so
Yep.
was that a last minute thing with the Union Jacks in?
I think that was as close as they could get to a tifo.
It looked fantastic.
So the flares and the flags, I think that was as close as they could get to it.
Yeah, again, fantastic effort for the guys, and well done.
I mean, when we were talking about the flares, I thought Gordy was going to turn up with his 70s gear on again.
I was here for the game in the studio, actually, with my players on.
Disco fever, man.
Thank God there's nobody else. There's nobody seen it. I was still here for the Saturday night.
So guys, if you're watching anywhere at all, if you could do us a wee favour, like, share and basically give some comments as well, and we'll be back on again, possibly Thursday night.
Aye, maybe do the rating show on Saturday. If we're
So that was Sunday, man. That's
I think we better spend
Aye,
something
but
for Sunday.
we'll write it down this Saturday and we'll deliver it on the Sunday night.
we've done that before, haven't we? Well, lad, can you remember?
Well, what a way to wrap up the show. We'll be on air maybe Thursday, but I would say probably definitely Saturday as well. So thank you to everyone watching for their company tonight.
Yep, definitely, thank you.
Thank you very much, guys, and all that remains to be said is we are
The
people.